Hi, welcome to another episode of Webcam Sessions. This week we're going to talk a little bit about chord sustain. Basically, a lot of times when people are learning how to play a new piece of tab, or maybe they're working on an arrangement of something, they'll start to look at every number individually and play through them and get kind of a clunky sort of sound and wonder why, because they're playing the right notes at the right time, but there's something about it that just doesn't sound as good. And essentially what's happening is you're removing your fingers too quickly and not letting the chords ring for the amount of time that they should ring. So to show as an example, we're going to take a look at the tune Amazing Grace. And we're just going to look at the first few bars. But if you want to learn the whole song, I've got a tutorial video that's available in the description below that I did of this exact arrangement. So we're going to look at the beginning here. We'll notice that it starts off pretty straightforward. We've got the 0 on the C, the 1 on the E, and then our first sort of chord here is this F chord, and we're going to strum through this F chord, and we're going to stop at the A string. All right, so that's May, and when we play this next line, we play the open on the A, and then open on the G, and then 1 on the E. Now this is where people oftentimes will remove their fingers completely right after playing the F chord, essentially making whatever notes are currently ringing stop ringing so that they can play the notes. So what I mean by this is they might play that F chord, and then when the 0 on the A is listed, they take off their hand, and then they kind of re-add them. If you do that, it's going to stop whatever notes are ringing that are being fretted. In this case, that 1 on the E, which is an F note, is really critical and important to continue ringing through the measure just to continually get that F chord sound. So the sound difference here is without the good sustain, versus with the sustain. Now you might not hear it as much with that first measure just because there are some open strings that are helping with it, but this second measure that we go into that starts with an F7, we can really start to hear this. And the reason is because this measure has this F7 chord listed for a half note, which means it's going to get 2 beats of time. And right after that, we're going to be playing a quarter note of a G note that's just the open G on a high G ukulele. And if I were to play this, and I play this F7, which I'll be using my middle finger here on the 2nd fret of the G string, ring finger here on the 3rd fret of the C, and index here on the 1st fret of the E. If I play this and then to play the open G, I kind of take off my hand and then play the open G, you'll notice all of those notes, except for the open A string, stop ringing. And that's a problem because we really want it to continually sustain when we play that open G as opposed to stop. And the reason for this is because we're essentially doing a chord melody, which is trying to play the harmony and melodies together to create a more solo arrangement that mimics more of what a band would play rather than just what someone would sing, for instance. And if you imagine a vocalist and a band playing together, if the vocalist stops singing, the band doesn't usually stop, right? The band will be providing fills and other things. And one of our tools that we have when we're doing chord melodies is to allow our sustain of whatever chord being played to continue ringing as long as it can. I think my favorite example of this is in the very next measure, on the 3rd measure here. We're going to start by playing a B flat chord, and with this B flat, we're just going to fret the 3 on the G, 2 on the C, 1 on the E. We actually don't need to fret the A string at all because we're not going to play the A string. But rather what we're going to do here is we're going to strum through the G, C, and E strings together. And now the next melody note's the 2 on the C. Now if I play this, and then take my hand off or stop fretting, allow it to stop ringing, and then kind of place that finger back on, it doesn't sound very good, right? It sounds like this. And then going in the next measure, right? So instead what I'm going to do is leave those notes fretted. Hear how we get that continued sustain going all the way through. So using this concept, I'm going to play the first few bars of Amazing Grace. And I'm going to play it without the sustain at first. So I'm going to kind of purposely, well, not purposely, but rather do what a lot of people do when they first start working on this, and that's move the fingers whenever, a new thing is written. And that could sound something like this. But now I'm going to use it with the sustain, so leaving my fingers fretted till they have to come off. And that's really the point to this lesson is whenever you're fretting something, don't take the fingers off until you have to. So if a note is different, maybe you're going from the 2 on the G to the open on the G, you definitely have to take that finger off. But if that's the only one that's changing, whatever other fingers are currently fretting can stay to allow that sustain to continue and to get more resonance with whatever you're playing. And you can really apply this to anything that's this chord melody style or any tabs that you find online, is trying to leave the fingers in position till they have to move to get the best sound. So hope you guys enjoyed this. It's a really fun concept to work on, but it's really kind of goes against the grain for what's intuitive and what you want to do. So oftentimes it takes some practice to get really comfortable just taking off one finger at a time or leaving other fingers on. But I'll see you guys next week for another episode of Webcam Sessions. As always, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. I'll see you guys next week.